moross and my pronouns are they, them. I'm a double Aries with an ambiguous rising because my parents don't know what time I was born. Yeah, it's Leo Virgo. I feel like that's a dangerous combo. My gender expression is confusing. My gender identity is non-binary. Growing up in North London was quite sheltered. I'm really glad that I grew up in London and had a really good experience of living here. I don't really have a lot of hobbies. Play Billie Eilish songs on the guitar. I like to see my friends get high, watch telly. I think I was really privileged. My parents let me be me from a really young age. I would say probably from day dot, I was always pushing the boundaries of like what it was to be an AFAB kid. I was quite a hairy kid and I used to be really self-conscious about that. I went to an all-girls school. There was like a room for a spectrum of masculinity and femininity, like within an all-girls school. You could be like butch and kiss the girls and wear shorts and vests or whatever, and that would be perfectly acceptable. One's relationship with their parents around gender is really complex. I think your parents feel like they have a part in who you are and your identity, and when you change their perception of you or when you try and hold a mirror up, it can be very difficult for them. I made mistakes about how much people knew. I think like it's easy to assume that someone has done research or has looked deeper than like half a centimetre into something, and most of the time people haven't. So learning to explain things multiple times in the simplest way as possible over and over again, and reinforcing and sharing resources and stuff like that has helped. I only just told my parents about my pronouns like on the weekend. I had a mixed response, so we'll see how it goes. I really enjoy going to the gym. I kind of assumed that you needed to be on testosterone to enjoy going to the gym or to like gain muscles. I actually don't think it's about the physical changes. I think there's something to do with dysphoria and the disconnection from your body that the gym like reconnects. That connection between your mind and your physical body. That touch of masculinity is there too, and that like sort of ties everything up in a really nice bow. Medical transitions or medical changes like having top surgery really helped with my dysphoria, like in a huge way. It made me feel like who I've always wanted to be. I get misgendered constantly. People using the wrong pronoun bothers me less than when I'm getting like hypergendered like in public spaces, like when people say hey ladies or what can I get you madam, or it's tacky. And it's inappropriate and it's really patronising and sexist also, so that could generally go in the bin. It feels really good if someone makes a mistake and then corrects themselves. It feels as good as someone using the right pronoun from the back. So like never be awkward or embarrassed or feel bad about making a mistake, because actually the correction in itself is like the nicest kiss after a little tiny paper cut, if that makes sense. When I kind of got in touch with my like trans identity and really started to explore it, I reached out to people online, meeting lots of different types of trans people. Helped me realize how personal like and how singular one's gender and like one's transness is to you, and how like of course you have a shared experience, but actually it's like understanding how completely unique your experience is too, and that of other people, and obviously that helps you realize generally how unique everyone's experiences of the world are, not just of their gender but also like just in general. Pussy Palace is an amazing space. I support and celebrate everything that they do, and I really enjoy attending their events. Open Barbers is an amazing queer and trans hair place where you can get your hair cut, coloured, any hair, any gender, any sexuality, whatever, you can go there and it's safe. If there was one thing you could say to the cis hetero community, what would it be? God. I would encourage cis hetero people to explore their identities. There's something really brilliant about being queer and trans in the sense that you've already questioned the status quo to a degree that you can start to push back on what you're told you need to be like. I feel like cis hetero people need to do that too, like not just about gender or sexuality, but how they should behave or conform, like whether they should have children, what kind of jobs they should have, like what kind of money they should be earning. Like queering your life in some way really helps you break away from the patriarchy and like the stereotypes that like bind so many people in their lives. Questioning and evolving your identity regardless of gender or sexuality is something that everyone should be doing all the time as they get older, and always be questioning and looking at the world through different people's points of view, really just asking questions and being curious and researching and doing stuff all the time, and not just like being disconnected from what is a very connected society that we live in. I mean, I'm really sad for anyone that's scared to be themselves in the world. Do you realise how incredibly beautiful and important you are? No. I don't know. That's very sweet.